Thank you. You're tuning in to Showboatin and Hotdoggin, live from the shed here at Tortoise and Hare Comics and Games, the best comic store on the Outer Banks. As always, I'm Jobber.
I'm Pipes.
I'm Bean.
Bean's our special guest tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to go from WrestleMania to Raw and SmackDown, and maybe even get into some stuff that's coming up in the future. Pipes, what do you got for us this week?
All right, well, I think we should start out first, of course, recapping WrestleMania.
And I must say, after that embarrassing pay-per-view before WrestleMania was a breath of fresh air.
Oh, you're talking about Fastlane?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were saying TakeOver.
No, I was talking about...
TakeOver was spectacular.
TakeOver was... And I would not talk bad about TakeOver.
TakeOver was better than WrestleMania.
I'm talking about Slow Lane.
Okay, Slow Lane, yeah.
Slow Lane.
That horrible, never needed to happen pay-per-view.
I mean, that reminded me a lot of in-your-house style pay-per-views, which were just awful.
It reminded me of a TNA pay-per-view.
Oh, gosh.
Ooh. That's rough. That's rough criticism right there, Pipes.
They're hiring.
Kurt Angle told us that. So if anybody's looking for a wrestling job, apparently TNA's hiring. But we'll get more into that in this podcast as well. Just a quick disclaimer. Again, as I said last week, this podcast is not suitable for anyone. So if you're a wrestling fan and you've got a sense of humor like we do, thanks for tuning back in. And special shout out to our sponsors, Tortoise and Hare Comics and Games. We do every wrestling pay-per-view here at the shop, so if you're in the Outer Banks and in the area, please come down and see us.
Also, I would like to point out that the views in this podcast do not reflect those of Tortoise and Hare Comics and Games or Fat Business LLC.
They also do not necessarily reflect the views of the other people on the podcast. Our opinions are our own.
And should not be accepted as fact by anyone.
True. All right, so let's talk WrestleMania, folks.
All right, well, let's start out. What was the best match in your opinion?
Ooh, that's a tough one. For my money, I really, really enjoyed the tag team match, the Raw tag team match.
Okay.
Had a lot of fun with that. Braun Strowman's partner, biggest surprise of the night. I had a smile from ear to ear and was laughing the entire match.
To point out for anybody who doesn't know, it was John Cone, the referee, who refereed the match. It was his son,
who is a 10-year-old little boy.
Yes.
And Braun Strowman brought him to the ring, actually tagged him in at one point, and ended up beating the crap out of his opponents.
The Bar.
It was quite possibly one of the most legendary WrestleMania moments I have ever seen. That being said, the elephant in the room, Taker showed up, and it was Dead Man Taker.
But it was still satisfying to see him beat Cena in 245.
It was, and I'm a mark for Dead Man Taker. I like him better than the American Badass.
I love both of them.
I was glad to see the classic Dead Man there. He walked the ropes, which I was cheering loudly for when he did it.
He was.
And it was old school Undertaker, and it gives me hope for this casket match that we've got coming up at the
greatest
Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. I will question the logic of putting a pay-per-view on the air at noon.
Well, live and the time zone difference.
I understand, but the American fans, some of us work for a living.
And that's the thing. They can't pre-record it and then air it because it's going to get spoiled.
Oh yeah, the dirt sheets will have it 10 minutes after.
As soon as there'll be live results happening from someone there in India.
So, Bean, what was your pick for match of the night?
I'd have to say the last match. Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman was...
No, Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
I'm sorry. Roman Reigns. Why did I say Braun Strowman? Roman Reigns.
Because you wanted it to be Braun Strowman.
Yes, I do. But that was a great match. It was one of the better matches I saw. Because I'm the old school hardcore guy who likes seeing blood explode everywhere.
And I'm right there with you. And I just full disclosure, it was about 1 a.m. when that match went on the air, and I had to work the next day, so I actually bailed before that match.
Yeah.
Watched every other match of the night, could not just make it through that one.
So then you don't know the inner workings of that one. They audibled that match midway through. Vince told them to have Brock win, and Brock went off script. Total off script when he busted open Reigns.
That's almost a no-no now, too.
Yeah, I heard he got a little bit of heat from that.
That whole no-blood policy is still in effect.
So, and the reason why, here's why they audibled that match. So Roman Reigns should win the belt in Saudi Arabia in front of a more accepting crowd to Roman Reigns. The American fans are going to boo him.
Well, and speaking of that match, Following that match on Monday Night Raw, we got the return of Samoa Joe.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Roman's next reign might be very short.
You know, there's a reason that when he comes out, the crowd chants, Joe's going to kill you. That man is a machine. He is a machine of destruction. And I'm so glad that he's healthy again and so glad that he's back. We'll talk more about other returns here just in a few minutes, but we want to stick with WrestleMania for a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Pipes. What's your pick for the match of the night?
My favorite match last night, I would go as far as say it was a tie for me between AJ and Shinsuke and Charlotte and Asuka.
Charlotte and Asuka was an amazing match.
But then again, I believe the whole way through that was a solid card.
It was a solid card.
Even
the
tag
prelims.
title match. Yeah, even the pre-show was great.
The Battle Royal was great. The men's Battle Royal was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, again, Jeff Hardy wins the men's Battle Royal. Or Matt Hardy wins.
But Jeff did return in it.
Matt wins the Battle Royal with the assist of Woken Bray Wyatt. We called it.
Yep.
And, you know, that's okay with me. I think that we're going to get to see the Hardy Boys with Bray Wyatt, kind of a new stable forming. And I really think if they get to stick together through the shakeup, that could be really entertaining.
It could be. And just while we're talking about prelim matches, congratulations to Cedric Alexander, first African American to win a championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah, congratulations,
First
Cedric.
African American man, I believe it was, to win a championship at WrestleMania.
Yep,
So congratulations to our NC boy, Cedric Alexander.
Well, and let's talk about the match, the prelim match that no one cared about.
The Women's Battle Royale?
Yes. Because
and you know
honestly,
them giving it to Naomi made us care even less.
That's true. You know, when Bayley won, I was actually kind of happy. I was like, "Oh, good,"
because it was going to further that storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And as we saw on Monday night, the storyline
is just as dumb as it was going into WrestleMania.
They just stalled it again. You know, the whole Bayley missing on a clothesline and clotheslining Sasha, and it left me cold. It was definitely a down for me. Not to bite off a walk culture. I don't mean to be biting their little gimmick, but it was a down for the night for me. Other matches that were entertaining. The AJ Styles match with Shinsuke was great.
Did not see Shinsuke Nakamura turning heel.
The Bludgeon Brothers utterly destroying
that was great.
The tag teams was entertaining. We did see a bunch of people from NXT have made the transition now. Apparently,
in the Women's Battle Royale. Well, they didn't make the transition. They were spot fillers.
But some have made the transition officially as of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, we'll get that right about now.
The Shinsuke match brought a tear to my eye at the end, and then it just ruined it. I was like, "Oh, great sport! Two great wrestlers wrestling each other. Now they're gonna hug, and then Shinsuke just slow blowed AJ Styles."
Bean, I gotta disagree, man. Shinsuke going heel for me was perfect.
Did you see his promo on SmackDown with Ray Young?
The I don't speak English.
He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for what I did to AJ Styles," and then he winks. And he's like, "Oh, no, speak English." That was great.
That's some classic old school heel stuff. Right?
It was very old school.
Oh, good Lord!
It's the new one,
guys. Just for your information, it's pushing 10 o'clock here on
the East Coast.
On the East Coast while we're recording this, and we can tell we got Val Venus references now, folks. And before this night's over, you may hear about the Shockmaster and the Gobbledygooker too.
Oh, great!
Duke the Dumpster Drosy. Actually, just as an aside, as a Royal Rumble type of match prelim for a pay-per-view, they really should get the worst wrestlers of all time.
Like the gimmick battle royale from WrestleMania 17.
Exactly. Yes. Throw them all in the ring together and just let it go.
They should have another one. That was a fun match.
The Hurricane.
And hey, do not make fun of Shane Helms.
The Hurricane beat the Rock.
I got my Hurrah powers right now, man. But I will say that I was kind of upset with the men's battle royal that, my boy, Heath Slater, he lasted a while.
Oh,
and then
speaking of our boys, my boy Zack Ryder got the heartbreaker getting eliminated by Mojo. That was a cool moment to see. I mean, it hurt me because I like Zack, but it was a storyline move,
Heath Slater, I thought he was making a run at it. He was right there till almost the very end, and then over the top rope he flies. I was just like, come on, Heath, Quit jobbing. Do
boy,
something here.
My boy Rhino got knocked out too. I wanted to see a spear, but I didn't get to see a spear.
What?
Gore.
A gore. I'm sorry, a gore.
Maybe
Gore.
we'll get to see the Heath and Rhino team up again.
They're still teaming up. They just keep getting.
They get no airtime.
They job out so fast.
Well, again, shake-up coming soon, so
Yeah. Maybe we'll see them split up. Maybe we'll see Rhino get back to SmackDown.
maybe we'll see Heath Slater get a title shot. No, probably not.
No.
But anyway, on to that subject, Monday Night Raw, the
All right,
night after
so-
WrestleMania. And for those of you who
Famously-
don't know
yeah.
and who are new to the whole wrestling thing and are just tuning in to get into wrestling
And
by
for
listening
what
to us,
reason? Why are you listening to us?
you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
But I want to go ahead and say that the Monday after Raw is generally considered one of the best televised Monday
It's
nights of the year.
Almost like a free pay-per-view.
It really is.
Because you got that internationally flavored crowd that's just still amped up from the night before. Because they know that there's going to be debuts, they know there's going to be returns, possible, Money in the Bank cash-ins. Just, something special always happens the night after WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And this year did not disappoint.
And the 2 nights after WrestleMania, even.
Well, we'll get to SmackDown here in a bit.
Uh,
But we have a couple notable entrances that nobody was expecting.
Yeah.
We got Ember Moon.
I kind of expected that.
We got the Authors of Pain.
I kind of expected that as well.
And then one of my new favorite wrestlers, Mr. No Way Jose.
I didn't see that coming. That was a surprise to me.
No Way Jose had one of the most entertaining short matches of the night on Monday Night Raw.
You know he's just Brodus Clay light.
I understand that he's going to be a mid-carb Kurt
Like
Jurgen.
he's like Brodus Clay mixed with Adam Rose.
With a little bit of Too Cool thrown in.
Okay.
But anyway, Monday Night After Raw was surprising. Some highlights that I saw. My favorite moment of the night has to be the backstage segment with the Hardys and Bray.
Uh-huh.
That was hilarious. Bray, for those of you guys who didn't see it, Bray and Matt are walking around backstage. Matt and Jeff have a little talk, and then Bray hugs Jeff and calls him Brother Nero, which is a throwback to the days of TNA.
Like 8 months ago.
Yes,
Like
well,
like a year and a half ago.
still, not everybody watches TNA, so it was kind of a cool little.
So now you know
check.
there was a thing there first.
The other thing that was notable on Monday night was the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens altercation with
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, thank you. A little brain dead tonight, folks. Sorry, but Kurt Angle actually just came out and flat out told them that TNA was hiring, which
The crowd responded to accordingly.
it's almost unheard of to mention another promotion on one of Vince's shows.
There was someone on Twitter, I can't remember who it was. It was a TNA employee. Who was like, someone was joking on him, and he was like, "No, this is a big win for us. We've been trying for 15 years." And then someone else pointed out, "Well, it took you 15 years."
That's true.
Oh my.
We also probably want to just briefly mention, because we really hyped it up in the last podcast, the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yes.
There were some highlights at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Then there were some not so highlights.
Well, yes. The Dudley Boys induction
Great.
was hysterically funny. Anything that ends with a official being powerbombed through a table is okay in my book.
Right.
Hillbilly Jim's induction was actually really entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm a mark for hearing old wrestlers talk about old wrestling.
Right.
So, and then, of course, Ivory, who we didn't mention during the last pay-per-view. Ivory actually came out and was really classy.
Yeah.
Then there were some other things that nobody really cared about.
Yeah.
Really, did we need to hear Goldberg stammer and stutter?
Do we need to hear
Yes.
Kid Rock?
Did we need to hear Kid Rock say he didn't really like wrestling all that much?
And people are gonna kind of get on me for this, but the Warrior Award. I feel like that's something that they should just do like online, like a pre-show,
Well,
because it takes up too much time from the main show that drags already on to past midnight.
it was a good moment for that kid.
It is.
And he, for a kid out there doing his thing,
Oh, he was
he was
hilarious.
entertaining.
I liked him. But
Him ripping on the Miz is hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't care how many times I see it. But maybe you're right. Maybe it needs to be its own
because
thing.
they have these legacy award. It was literally a minute long clip of them going through these names of these legendary wrestlers, and they got a minute.
And by the way, I would be remiss in not mentioning we lost a Valiant last week also. So rest in peace. One of the Valiant brothers, one of the old school tag teams in professional wrestling. Really just top of their games. And it just it's one of those things, as we lose these older guys, you kind of have to look back and realize that the sport has changed so much and it's left a lot of people behind. But those guys were the ones who paved the way for people like Rusev and The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Edge and Christian. If it weren't for people like the Valiants and the Fabulous Freebirds and the Rock and Roll Express and folks like that, their wrestling would not exist as we know it today.
It's an interesting inclusion of Rusev with his legendary names.
Well,
Rusev,
Rusev, The Rock, Steve Austin, Edge and Christian.
I'm convinced that eventually the powers that be, the writing staff at WWE, is going to realize what they have with Rusev, and he's going to be a legend.
You keep leading me into saying things that I shouldn't say.
Okay. This is going to be the right to censor on Matt right now.
I'm not going to say it.
Okay. Well, that being said, what did you think about? I mean, were there any standouts for Raw that I didn't mention?
You missed Paige retiring.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did. Paige retiring was a huge moment.
Knew it was coming. Thought she was going to stay with them as a manager with Absolution, but we'll get into that when we cover something else.
It's Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley debuted.
Bobby Lashley's coming back.
Isn't he a janitor?
No, he was fighting MMA. He was a world heavyweight champion.
I did read something today that Bobby Lashley is not going to have the same type of MMA/WWE contract that Brock Lesnar has.
Of course not,
No.
because he's not Vince's boy.
As
Again, you're
Roman
leading me
Reigns
into
said.
saying things that I shouldn't say.
As Roman Reigns said.
Okay, moving on then.
But I think Bobby Lashley, he can at least go for like the Intercontinental
I feel
title.
like if Brock's contract isn't just for one more match, that we'll see Brock Lesnar face Bobby Lashley at SummerSlam.
I actually like Bobby Lashley.
I do too.
He's a good, classy wrestler, and take that.
He's got the problem that Brock Lesnar has though. The voice.
Yeah, he definitely needs a mouthpiece.
He's got Mike Tyson syndrome.
And you know who would be a good antidote for that right now?
Paul Heyman.
No, Heyman's still with Brock.
But when Brock leaves,
I'm thinking Paul Ellering.
You know what? The AOP left him high and dry Monday night.
That's right.
That would be great, unless that was them writing Paul Ellering off.
I doubt it. Ellering is. I have a feeling Ellering is going to be entering the Hall of Fame.
I think he's already in.
He
went in. He went in with
the
them.
Warriors are in. Ellering
He went in with them.
Yes, I understand, but Ellering by himself could still go in.
Yeah, that's true.
He did manage other people.
Yeah, he does have a ring. We're going in with
the Warriors.
Warriors.
And the Road Warriors deserve to be in.
Yes,
I mean, that's
and him as well.
Yes. But going forward, any other things we need to talk about
Raw,
Monday night?
I'm sure there is, but as
The main event was kind of a letdown.
It didn't lead to anything. It didn't lead towards anything.
It
at
was
all.
yeah.
It was just Jeff Hardy returning with Finn Balor and Seth Rollins to beat up the Miz and Miztourage.
And
It's exactly what you thought was going to happen.
Right. It no big surprises there at all.
It's like I saw someone tweet on Twitter today. They said, "All right, guys, all the good wrestling is done. Back to your regularly scheduled programming," and that's exactly what Raw gave us.
There were some highlights on Raw. I will not write Raw.
But then they killed it all with the main event being whatever a meaningless 6-man tag match.
Well, and we did see the return of Nia Jax on Raw as well.
As the champion, yeah.
Yes, which was nice.
And then Ember Moon, that again, they could have done that better somewhere in some other.
And I like Ember Moon. She had a great match at TakeOver, and seeing her show up on Raw was great.
Yeah.
I will not take anything away from that.
Please keep anyone with talent away from Shayna Baszler.
Well, there's that. Let's go ahead and talk SmackDown.
All right. Well, then let's obviously start out with what started out SmackDown. What was Paige is the new general manager of SmackDown Live.
Well deserved.
I'm not excited about it.
Oh, I am. She did some really good matches.
I hate hearing her talk.
I like Paige.
I don't like seeing her either.
She's very pale.
She looks like Dr. Frankenfurter from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
She actually kind of looks like
she does.
She kind of looks like a Tim Burton movie character.
Oh, great.
Yeah, if it was.
Anyway,
things I shouldn't say.
We did, however, the other side of that is Daniel Bryan is now a full-time competitor again.
We'll see how long that lasts.
True, but the crowd went wild.
Of course they did.
because they're the crowds.
Because
Daniel Bryan. That's why. Yes.
I've never, I've always liked Daniel Bryan. I thought he was a good in-ring worker, but I just don't care.
I care a little. His match at WrestleMania was amazing.
The crowd was going wild.
When he actually started wrestling the last 5 minutes of the match, that was some of the best wrestling all night. I mean, he was beating pillar to post, diving off of one turnbuckle to the other. It was insane.
Well, the whole crowd was just going, yes. I don't know why. I was getting chills through my body when they're doing that.
Well, I mean, it's that nostalgia thing that came out. That everybody
it's not
was
like they didn't do it when he came out as general manager every week. It's nothing new.
But everyone's
it is because he was back in the ring.
It was a little louder because he was back in the ring for the first time in 3 years.
And we really believed that he would never come back to wrestle again.
Yeah.
But he came back.
Well, I mean, and that's thanks to his doctors. I mean, he was legitimately hurt.
Yeah.
He can still get legitimately really hurt.
Well, and he probably will before it's all said and done. I mean, wrestlers, fake or not, or scripted or not, these guys put their bodies on the line every week. It's just part of the sport.
There's a reason that they train. There's a reason that they go to school. And I want to, for anybody who says, oh, well, if there's hope for Daniel Bryan, then there's hope for Paige. Two different situations, two different injuries. Paige is never coming back.
No, she's not. She's like, from what I understand and what I read, the doctors told her if she continued to wrestle that she may be crippled the rest of her life.
Yeah.
So kind of like an Edge situation.
Yes, it is the exact injury.
And, as much as everybody loved seeing Edge and Christian at the Hall of Fame ceremony, and the crowd was chanting one more match, guys, that's just not going to happen.
Never.
He's not going to put his life on the line to give you guys one more.
He's got a wife and 2 kids now. He's not going to risk that for you guys to have one more show of Edge and Christian or Edge.
Well, that being said, though, a little ad for the WWE Network, real quick. Edge and Christian show season 2 is coming.
Yeah,
and I'm really happy about that.
Well, and we'll get back to wrestling fans need to stop being so fucking selfish.
Well, yeah, but that's always. I mean,
it's you gotta understand. He's done. He can't.
This is a situation where it's like when Austin shows up to do a one-off.
Well, Austin's clear now.
I understand that, but Austin has said several times the sport has passed him by. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Foley is a good example. Foley retired and said he didn't want to wrestle anymore. But everywhere he went, every convention, every signing, every time he went to Santa's Land with his kids, people were like, when are you getting back in the ring? When are you getting back in the ring? And he finally did, and it sucked.
Yeah. That was when the Edge run?
Yes.
Yeah, that was... And they made him heel, too.
Well, and God bless Mick Foley. Mick, if you're listening to this, you are one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Absolutely.
But, man, you should have stopped long ago. I know you're still in these little independent promotions doing the job for a lot of these up-and-comers, and God bless you for it, but you should have stopped years ago. There's a reason you don't see people like Ron Simmons in the ring anymore either.
Right.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. But that's a topic for another podcast there, Pipes.
Right. And we promise that the next podcast will not be about the current continuity of professional wrestling. We'll do something like a throwback episode next week.
Ooh, throwback. Love throwback.
Oh, is this the Attitude Era podcast that we've been promising?
All right, so here's what I would like to do for next week. Let's do Monday Night Wars.
Oh,
let's
yes.
We'll find 2 WCW guys. We'll find 2 WWF guys.
You got to do more than 2, man, because I'm picking a faction.
You picking NWO?
No, I'm picking Generation X.
Okay, well then you're WWF.
I'm NWO fan.
Then you're WCW. Then I'm WWF. So it'd be you and me versus Bean and probably maybe Pee Wee or other guy.
I'll get Pee Wee in here because We need some glacier marks in here.
We need to
He
do. All right, so
NWO guy.
maybe we find a third guy and we do 3 WWF and 3 WCWs.
Well, and I will say this, just as an aside, I like the NWO as well. I thought that whole gimmick was great.
Until they had like 1 million members.
Until it went red and orange and pink and
Latino.
neon green.
Yeah, Latino, yeah.
But I was also, DX for me, in all
Yes.
its incarnations, was
Yeah.
incredibly cool.
My favorite DX was like mid-2000s DX, where they were just joking on the McMahons.
Nah.
But the same era, we also saw the return of the modified Four Horsemen,
Yes.
which we'll talk about too. But that's next week, guys. If you like classic pro wrestling, next week is your show.
Yeah.
And if you guys didn't figure it out from last week, we're amateurs at this. We're getting better. This sounds a lot better than it did last week.
Yeah, I've only said one curse word this week.
And and there have been no assaults on people's opinions,
Beliefs and opinions,
but
except for wrestling fans. I told them that they're all very selfish,
well, that's true.
and you are.
We all are.
Quit it.
We all are.
Yes, and support Heath Slater.
And Zack Ryder,
Well, Heath Slater.
mostly Zack Ryder.
There needs to be a Heath Slater and Zack Ryder team up, man.
I'd be on board with that.
Actually, I want to see the return of the band.
Yeah,
But anyway, that's again.
Jinder Mahal's too big of a star now.
What do you think? What are you guys thinking about the greatest Royal Rumble?
I think that it's an absolutely amazing card that I hope they execute right.
But at noon.
Well, if it's gonna be live, it's gotta be when it's on there.
Yeah.
At noon.
It's like that song when it's night over there, over here it's freaking day.
When I have to take vacation from work to watch a wrestling pay-per-view, there's
Well, you
something
don't have
wrong.
to watch it live, man. It's gonna be on there as soon as it's done. It's a replay.
And what
whatever you
happens
want.
if I don't watch it live?
Spoilers?
That's right.
Well,
Spoiler.
then
I think
you don't have. I know you don't have Facebook, but turn off your Twitter.
I think it's going to be a
Don't
sick.
respond to any-
I think it's going to be a sick day.
You think so?
I think
well,
so.
I'm doing it here.
And I will
Dr.
say
Flo.
this, guys. I was really disappointed in the turnout for WrestleMania. We had a big crowd, but it could have been bigger.
Yeah.
Guys, I want all of you up here for the next pay-per-view.
Which is Fastlane. No,
Oh my
God,
God.
no.
Oh my
Hold on.
Lord.
No, Backlash.
Backlash. Okay. Bobby
Hello.
Pipes, go stand in the corner. All right, Bean, it's me and you for a couple of minutes because he mentioned the slow lane, and we're not talking about that anymore.
That was oh gosh.
Oh man, that's
I
like
lost my crown at Slow Lane. I got it back
child.
to a child. Like, I was the bar.
that's the other thing, guys. We here at the shop we have a shop championship belt that we pass around to the people who can pick the right matches.
The most correct matches.
And Pipes thinks he's big stuff because he has the reigning belt currently.
2-time.
But little does he know, there's a faction forming in the shop who plan on stealing that belt from him.
But you know, Chico, we're gonna take the belt.
You can steal it all you
Too
want.
sweet.
But it's still my name on the record book.
Anyway.
And no, the greatest Royal Rumble will not be having picks.
Ah,
Because it's only going to be 2 of us, probably.
I'm downvoting that. But anyway, the biggest thing I think happening at the Rumble, though, and I've got to address this, Undertaker versus Chris Jericho in a casket match.
Because Lana won't let Rusev compete in one.
Holy crap, guys. A casket match. We've not seen one of these in 10 years.
Since Mark Henry and Undertaker at WrestleMania.
yep.
How many years ago was that?
That was, I believe, 2009.
Okay, so
we'll keep
That wasn't
talking-
quite 10 years.
We'll keep talking and I'll fact check that.
We're gonna fact check that. Fact check.
But casket matches. They used to do them all the time. I still remember Undertaker fighting Yokozuna, and Yokozuna wouldn't come near the ring because he was afraid of the casket.
And then they lit the casket on fire, and the lightning bolt comes down.
Oh, it's classic.
Classic Undertaker right there.
And I'm glad we're getting classic Taker. Because wrestling needs a bad guy. And if the Undertaker can go back to being the Prince of Darkness Undertaker, the guy that... and I hesitate to mention this because Pipes is going to give me some crap on this
Alright,
one.
it's been 12 years since the last casket match.
Pipes is going to give me some crap on this one. But I want the Undertaker back who crucified Steve Austin on the Undertaker symbol.
I'm cool with that. I don't know.
That was so...
It's no Raven crucifying Sandman in front of Kurt Angle, but it'll do.
Yeah, it will do. It will do.
Ministry of Darkness 2. I'm thinking Bray Wyatt, the Bludgeon Brothers,
Aleister
Black, also known as Kung Fu Undertaker.
Ruby Riott as the chick.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Braun Strowman could be
unless Sarah Logan gets to bring back the Crazy Mary character.
And bring back Naked Midian.
Is he even still alive?
Yes, Midian's still alive. Midian, big fan, man.
Is Bradshaw coming back?
As what?
No.
As Bradshaw?
It's the Hall of Fame that they said no.
Oh.
They said no.
No.
Both him and Ron Simmons and Godfather said no.
No.
The really funny thing is Corey Graves wants to come back, and the WWE said, no, we don't want you.
Well, that's the thing. They're like, no, you idiot.
You just sit where you're at and make stupid comments.
And make fun of Saxton.
And make the coach look smart.
Yeah. That's impossible. He must be good at his job.
Speaking of which, guys.
Sorry, Coach.
Little burr in my saddle. We need a new announce team. Badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The announce teams right now on Raw and SmackDown are terrible.
NXT probably has the best.
They have Mauro Ranallo.
Yeah,
you were watching the compilation
oh
the other day.
my gosh, I was laughing.
But it's still no King and Lawler.
No.
Well, Mauro was on
King and JR.
Mauro was on SmackDown with JBL, and JBL bullied him off of SmackDown. He was going to quit WWE.
You're more in the know and the behind the scenes Michigas in the WWE right now.
Why don't we?
What is JR's status?
JR's status is that he's signed like a Legends contract, to where JR appears whenever they want him to. Like,
So
call special events. Like, they didn't use him for Mania for some reason.
They should have.
Like he did the Women's Classic, the Mae Young Classic.
yes, they did use it for Mania. He called the prelim battle royal.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Okay, so then that's what he does.
What do you think the chances we'll get the King and JR back on Raw as announcers?
No.
Just bring back Bobby the Brain Heenan.
No,
You can
they
do
won't.
that.
Bobby's dead.
Oh, might be.
Oh my God.
You go stand in the corner now, Bean.
This is not a. It's not a Chris
Good
Benoit
Lord.
joke.
Guys, Bean's opinions do not represent the opinions of anyone else here.
I'm a Chris Benoit fan, though. So.
We will not talk about Benoit anymore in this podcast.
About who?
Exactly.
The Pegasus Kid?
Dean Malenko and Perry Saturn.
The Canadian Crippler?
Perry Saturn in a dress.
Thinking about it back on it, since we've already said it.
No. Right to censor. Right to censor.
It's just funny thinking back to it.
Excuse me.
Nickname.
To use Heath Slater's line, I have kids.
He has a family!
Anyway, guys, enough of that.
Alright. So...
A couple other things going on in the world of wrestling right now. Superstar shakeup. We were wrong, guys. It's not going to be a pay-per-view. It's going to be
They
next week.
originally had said something about that, but it never came to fruition.
So what are we thinking? Superstar shakeup. What's happening? What's not going to happen? Do we care?
At this point, right now, until... Alright, so what's messing me up with it is the Royal Rumble and the Greatest Royal Rumble and Backlash coming up.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to see some people who are challenging for titles get moved to other brands, and titles are going to swap brands.
Are we going to get what?
Brands.
Yes.
Are we going to get what I said last week, though? Are we going to get a new start? Are we going to get people who haven't been getting a push?
You mean like Jinder Mahal last year?
Yes.
I hope so. I've heard rumors about that. I've heard a few names.
I've also heard rumors, or read rumors, floating around some of the dirt sheets out there on the net. Dirt sheets, by the way, is behind-the-scenes information that's published on the internet for people supposedly in the know.
Yes.
That there is a chance that Shane Helms may be returning to the WWE.
I'm fine with that in any incarnation. Yeah,
You would be okay with the Hurricane coming
I'd
back?
be okay with Hurricane. I'd be good with Gregory Helms. I'd be good with Shane Helms. It doesn't matter. He's a great wrestler.
So, Bean, what do you think about the Hurricane returning?
He's a good enhancement talent.
He is.
He is.
He'd be a great enhancement talent for the cruiserweights.
Good on the mic.
One of the other things, big things that happened this week, and it's been a big week for wrestling, guys. Night before last, that we actually got the Andre the Giant documentary on HBO.
Right.
Now, my partners here have not seen it yet, but I'm going to give
Yeah.
you guys a brief little review. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Well, I mean, it's awful.
One of the best sports documentaries I have seen since the Ric Flair 30 for 30.
I haven't seen that yet either. I need to.
A true inside look at the life of one of the greatest professional wrestlers who ever lived. It takes it from his original days in France all the way up through the end of Princess Bride, where he could barely move. And it is at times hilariously funny and at times heartbreaking. So, guys, if you have HBO, don't let this one slip by. Go ahead and go to documentaries and watch the Andre the Giant documentary. All right. Well, there's that out of the way. There's my little soapbox. What do we got coming? We do know that we've got a huge tag match coming up Monday night on Raw.
The vacant titles.
Yeah. No, well, this to see who faces the bar.
The bar. Oh, yeah, because the bar is defending.
The bar
defending.
Well, they get their rematch technically.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
and I'm not even talking about that match.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Woken Twins. Bray
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Versus the Revival. Woken Bray Wyatt and Woken Matt Hardy versus the Revival.
So, guaranteeing you that the Wokens win.
Good.
But, gonna give a shout out to our local boy from Kildover Hills, Scott Dawson.
Okay, I'll give Scott a shout out.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you ever hear this, come down and be on the show, man. If you're into comic books, come in and we'll hook you up.
We'll let you talk all kinds of crap because, the 8 people that listen to this don't care.
Right. Obviously. If they listen to the whole thing of the first one,
Oh,
and they're still listening,
the first one was pretty brutal.
Then, yeah.
You guys are good. All 8 of you.
Yeah, we've kind of...
And again, I know just a message from our sponsor, our one sponsor, Tortoise and Hare Comics and Games on the Outer Banks. Best place to buy comics, best place to play Magic. We're the friendliest shop on the island. And you'll see Pipes here daily.
Yeah?
You'll probably see Bean here
well,
too.
almost daily.
And Jobber just shows up whenever he feels like it.
Right. As is Bean.
Because I have kids. Anyway, what else are we talking about tonight, gentlemen?
Let's give them a little what ifs.
What
Oh,
ifs?
you know
What
what?
if?
Wait, never mind.
Never
Take that back.
mind.
We didn't cover something.
What did we not cover?
We didn't cover the Iconics coming out to attack Charlotte Flair and allowing Carla Mel to cash in Money in the Bank.
I was kind of avoiding that.
Really? It was sore for me. I didn't like it. I thought, why in the hell do you have her end the streak and then the next 2 nights later have her drop the belt to a model?
And that's my whole issue with it is Asuka had a legitimate, good thing going with the streak. It could have gone a lot longer.
I almost now wish she would have won the belt.
But, losing to Charlotte at the pay-per-view was great. And
Yeah.
it was classy. They both, good sportsmanship all around. It was great. But you're right. Having her to drop the belt the next night,
2 nights later.
or 2 nights later, excuse me,
Yeah.
after being beat up by, a pair of no-name tag teams from NXT.
By the way, all you people who like the Iconic duo are idiots.
And then Carmella coming out and cashing Money in the Bank, that was just stupid.
Yeah.
And we all know as fans, Charlotte's going to get the belt back.
Gotta be.
Her last name is Flair. Come on.
I mean,
Oh,
they're building her up to be like her dad. She's gonna have at least 10, 15, 16, 1700 world championships.
Talk to us about this, though, Pipes. And you too, Bean, if you want to chime in.
Okay.
4 horsewomen.
It
Well,
could happen.
they have the group
Yeah.
for the WWE. They also have the MMA group.
Yeah.
SummerSlam,
But do we see now that Charlotte has lost the belt,
right?
and she's being attacked by rando tag teams from NXT,
Right.
do we see the beginning of the horsewomen? Do we see
It depends.
the forming?
If the shakeup sends, I don't know, because you got to figure two members of that 4 horsewomen are fighting each other right now
Charlotte is going to end. I'm calling it now. Charlotte's going to end up on Raw.
with Becky and. So is Becky going to go too? You think? Charlotte and Becky both to Raw.
Charlotte and Becky to Raw, teaming up with Bayley and Sasha.
All right, so I think Asuka goes to SmackDown full time then.
Probably.
Asuka SmackDown.
Ronda SmackDown.
No, Ronda stays on Raw. so you can build up the feud.
Yep.
I don't
You
think
gotta
so.
have her there.
I don't think so. Because I think that Ronda versus Carmella.
Well, you know that Ronda and Stephanie and them aren't done yet,
I know
Yeah,
they're,
they're
not.
done.
so they can't get rid of her yet. And she could have one of those exclusive contracts like Brock.
I don't think she does, though.
I think she's got a full. Not like
She probably. I think she's getting treated like everybody else.
Yes.
And that
Well,
match,
that-
by the way, great match on
match,
WrestleMania. Incredible match.
Loved her using her shoulder and head to pry open the arms.
And
And the snap the arm back was great.
the thing on Raw the next night where she
Did it again.
dislocated Stephanie's shoulder was great, too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and again, she's a good talent. She's green.
Yeah.
She is literally doing the only thing she knows how to do right now.
Yep.
She gets that arm bar on you and wrenches it, and
You're done.
You scream a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until she learns some actual wrestling moves, though,
Mm-hmm.
she's going to be a one-trick pony.
Well, remember back she did an interview one time that said she was a lot of tricks pony. So
Well, that's true.
we'll see if
Lot of
that
tricks
we'll
pony.
see if that holds up.
Um,
But as far as I'm concerned, it was a great debut.
what I find most interesting, though, going forward, is the Triple H thing at WrestleMania. I
Uh-huh.
figured was a one-off. I figured he'd do the one match and that would be it. But the fact that he's facing Cena in Saudi Arabia,
Right?
is Triple H returning to the ring?
No. He's only doing it because the WWE's this whole Royal Rumble thing is just a ploy to sell the network in Saudi Arabia.
I get that, but my thought is this: the WWE right now is struggling with viewership.
Yeah.
The way to bring back viewership is the return of D-Generation X.
Oh,
Sean ain't
God.
coming back.
Sean won't come back. Sean doesn't need to come back. You get Triple H. You get Brian Gregory. Not Brian Gregory.
Brian James?
James. Thank you.
Road Dogg.
Yes, the Road Dogg.
DX. So you're talking New Age Outlaws.
Well, maybe
They're-
not.
They're not taking Billy Gunn.
No.
Or X-Pac.
Pac.
Or X-Pac.
Pac.
Maybe Pac.
Pac might.
Maybe.
But you can see a new version of DX. I could see it happening, and it would improve ratings enough so that they would be out of the downward spiral they're in right now.
But Triple H is also the COO.
Let me tell you,
He is like...
they can't. You can't get past that. How can you rebel against the system if he is the system?
That is true.
Okay, then you bring back the authority.
But that's Triple H and Stephanie, man.
Yes, but I'm talking about the legit authority.
You talk about the corporation.
Yes. I'm talking about Randy
Vince,
Orton.
Vince, Stephanie, and Shane.
No, I'm talking about the organization. They were calling themselves the Authority at the time, when Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H.
Evolution.
Evolution?
Evolution.
Yes.
Yes,
I was
Evolution.
gonna say, yeah, Evolution.
That's what I meant. Evolution.
The Authority had like Vince McMahon.
But that's the problem. That's what
Stephanie.
WWE's been doing too much. They're pushing the old guys too much. If WWE wants their rating to change, they have to start taking risks.
Okay, and we promised at the head of the show that we were going to address this. The Kurt Angle comment about TNA hiring.
Yes. So, Sammy and Kevin, neither one got a match. They got a contract Monday night. The next day after Raw, a box of donuts and Tim Hortons coffee was sent to the TNA headquarters. And I don't know if I'm just digging too much in here, but Zayn and Owens are Canadian. Tim Hortons is a Canadian company.
And we did talk about it at the last podcast. We're calling invasion here.
Yep.
Jeff Jarrett showing up and getting inducted.
Bobby Lashley showing
Bobby
up.
Lashley showing back up.
All the guys who were already there who were in TNA.
It's going to be another.
It's going to be another Raw with
Monday Night
or
Wars?
WWE versus
Right. It's going to be
the little guy.
The TNA guys are going to come in as the quote unquote NWO like group.
Well, it would what they called it was the Alliance. It was ECW and WCW.
yeah, but that didn't really so much work.
I enjoyed it, but I was also 10.
I thought Scott Steiner had a deal with Vince where he'd never wrestle in the WWE.
Vince is never going to bring back Scott Steiner.
Oh, gosh.
have a better chance of bringing back New
Scott
Jack.
Steiner owns a Denny's.
Better chance of bringing back New Jack.
Yeah.
At this point.
No.
But anyway, and that's some humor right there.
That's just all.
New Jack is never going to come to the WWE. He's never going to wrestle professionally on TV again.
No.
The man almost killed somebody. He's never going to wrestle on professional TV again.
Oh, you just bring back Terry Funk. He's still wrestling.
Terry Funk is 108 years old.
Again, guys, you're getting too far on the old stuff.
The old stuff
is great, but at some point you got to leave it behind.
That is true.
Well,
but then we need to tell Terry Funk
to quote good old JR.
You can't tell Terry Funk to do anything he doesn't want to do.
It is true.
To quote good old JR, the old stuff's what puts butts in seats.
Not anymore. They've tried it. Batista was a massive failure when he came back.
Yeah.
Randy Orton's no longer getting the same
treatments.
Cheers he's getting. People have been fed up with Cena for the last 10 years.
Bring back Stardust.
No.
That silence that you just heard was Pipes censoring himself.
No, but you've got to...
Goldust looked really good in the Royal Rumble, by the way.
The independent scene right now is so saturated with talent. These just great wrestlers that Vince is not looking at because they might not fit the bill of what he wants. They're not, 6'5", 285 pounds of pure muscle, but you got guys like
Dean Ambrose.
Well, Dean Ambrose is already signed. I'm talking about guys.
Ambrose, and Ambrose is hurt.
Yeah.
You got guys like Joey Janela, who puts on great matches every time he goes out. You've got guys like
Kenny Omega,
but Kenny doesn't want to come back to WWE. WWE did him dirty the first time he was there.
Guys like Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes doesn't want to come back.
No, but guys like that. Who's not?
Yeah, Marty Scurll was one they could bring in. Guys like Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor. He would be
phenomenal.
Marty Jannetty.
He would sell tickets.
You're going back to the old stuff, man.
Chuck
Taylor
done. Would sell tickets.
You put Chuck Taylor and Drew Gulak together as a tag team. And let them go.
Oh.
Yeah,
yes.
They have to take risks. They have to stop. They have to think outside the box. They've got to stop going for, failed football players and turning them into turning to wrestlers.
Yeah.
They're great athletes, but,
they can't do that anymore.
Okay, that's a valid point. Tony Romo never needs to come to the WWE.
No. It's okay. He'll get injured the first time he's in the ring.
They did the failed football players years ago, and then
Roman Reigns.
But
Roman Reigns also got blood on his side.
By the way, guys, just another side note for any of you people here in the Outer Banks, Coastal Virginia area, Tidewater Comic Con May 5th, and two wrestling people just put on the card for it that are going to be signing autographs. We will have Zeus, yay. And we will have J.J. Dillon. So, one of the founding members of the Four Horsemen. They're signing autographs. Should be a good time for all.
Now, see, that's where the old wrestling belongs.
Yes, signing
at cons, at a convention, signing autographs.
But where does Zeus belong?
Zeus? Oh, man.
Okay, guys. That's probably enough of that.
Yeah, but yeah, this has been a big week for wrestling.
And guys, this is not going to be what our podcast is every week. We are going to do topics.
We're going to try and have some kind of structure.
Structure aside, we're going to do topics.
Yeah.
We're going to do, next week we're doing the Monday Night Wars.
Right.
And for any of you guys who weren't alive during the Monday Night Wars, the Monday Night Wars was the golden age of professional wrestling.
Yes.
Even as a young child, I still remember Monday Night Wars.
Things were happening during the Monday Night Wars that you will never see happen again. Things like
D-Generation X driving a tank to the Norfolk Scope.
D-Generation X invading WCW is right up there.
I was in the crowd for that WCW as a kid.
Were you one of the people they let in for free?
You were?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about what used to be WCW. If they didn't have enough attendance, they would literally go out on the street and just give tickets.
You know what? About 10 years ago when I was still stagehand working, they called me and they're like, "Hey, are you off today?" I said, "Yeah, come on in and fill a seat for SmackDown."
SmackDown?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for 10 years ago, SmackDown was terrible.
SmackDown was horrible.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's still not great now.
10 years ago, SmackDown was
they were good seats. They were like 4 rows back from behind like the commentary table.
That's not bad.
They were great seats for free.
10 years ago, SmackDown was like Doink the Clown versus Dolph Ziggler. It was terrible.
Gosh.
It was Dolph Ziggler just getting his start. Yeah.
But again, and all promotions do that, but WCW was famous for it.
Yes.
I mean, they would give away hundreds and hundreds of tickets for free just so it looked like their crowds were full. And where I grew up, and I'm not going to say the name of the town, but where I grew up, I actually got free tickets because I worked at a hotel for a War Games pay-per-view for WCW
Nice.
because they didn't have enough people. So I took my family, my mother, and my sisters to a War Games pay-per-view event because
Didn't have enough
just
people.
didn't have enough people. And
Yeah.
we had good seats. So,
That happened all the time back home. I would get calls for filling seats.
I think that happened to my dad, and he was on the what's it called? He was on the walkway. Yeah,
really.
you can actually see him on one of the nitros.
Nitros.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Hopefully it wasn't
Yeah,
one of the ones with David Arquette.
And to be clear, they don't do that anymore.
Okay. For next week, what we need to do then as teams for WCW and whoever
WWF.
your tag team partner is.
Yeah.
And it can't be a little 10-year-old kid.
It's
No,
not
I
going to
mean, it can be, but we're going to know he's lying about seeing it firsthand.
We need to come up with the best moments from the Monday Night Wars and the worst.
be.
So, all
From
right. Okay, so here's what we'd have to do then. What we're going to have is the WWE guys have got to go find the worst moments from WCW. WCW's got to go find the worst moments from WWF.
That's not really fair, though, Pipes.
Well,
because literally,
because
we
the worst moment ever was Shockmaster.
literally to
Was
find,
Shockmaster before the
no, it was during the
It
wars.
was during the wars, so yeah.
To find the worst moments from WCW, all we have to do is turn on a WCW match. I mean, you can literally pick any moment.
Yeah. Finger poke of doom,
Glacier,
Glacier,
Latino World Order.
LWO,
Judy Bagwell on a pole.
Rey Mysterio getting unmasked.
Oh gosh, yeah.
ICP.
Yeah.
Diesel being the Kiss Demon.
That was not Diesel. That
That
was
was.
Dale Torborg.
I'm sorry, Dale Torborg being the Kiss Demon.
Yeah,
Who,
there's so
who
many.
later went on to win a World Series with the White Sox.
Dungeon of Doom.
Dungeons of Doom. It's not hot!
We'll get into that next week.
Oh, great. Oh, I
Guys,
guess that's
we really, the crew here really want to thank you guys for tuning in and giving us a second chance this week. Again, if you've stuck with us this long, keep coming back. We will try to get these things up by Friday or Saturday every week.
Yeah, if you like punishing yourself, please come back for more.
And we will be running a little gimmick here within the next 3 or 4 weeks, I guess. We may even try to get one of our listeners or one of our fans in here, if you're local, to kind of just be on our podcast and have some fun with us.
And we'll try maybe to reach out, figure out some way, if we can get a new recording system maybe, where we can use like a Skype interface or something, maybe get some indie wrestlers on,
Oh, yeah.
some legends maybe.
We're even talking about possibly, if we can ever get up there, going to one of the little smaller promotion live events up in Virginia and maybe
Do
just
some
doing
interviews,
an interview or two, maybe just some reviews
yeah.
about what they're doing up there. Because I think it's $3 to get in and you watch it in a gym.
So
That's
yeah,
not
like,
bad.
five, I think it's like $5 to $15 for tickets or something like that.
For $15, they'll let you in the locker room.
But
man.
$15 you get front row and like a meet and greet usually with something
That's
stuff like
awesome.
that.
Yeah, you get to hang out with.
But you're meeting guys who are no names.
Yeah.
I won't get to meet.
Unless you go to the one where Billy Gunn's the
I was
champion.
going to say I won't get to meet the Virginia champion.
The Vanguard City Championship Wrestling Champion, the badass Billy Gunn.
That might actually cost
Their
$18.
next show that they're actually doing is going to have him and Al Snow.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
so yeah, I'm an Al Snow
Al
fan.
Snow.
I'm an Al Snow fan, so I can definitely go do that.
Yeah, it's Norfolk, I believe.
Norfolk.
I met Ravensflock.
Is it at the Scope?
I don't think so.
Oh man,
I met Ravensflock at one of those.
are they using
so-
Scope?
Not for Vanguard, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure some of the wrestlers are using Scope. That bad breath thing, just
No, yeah, of course, yeah. Ring breath.
Yeah, true. And guys, if you have questions, you can submit them through the YouTube page, and we'll try to answer them.
Yeah, gonna try and get maybe a Twitter account running up for us. Actually, if you want to send us questions, use the hashtag
SBHD.
HD and tweet at TH Comic Shop the questions, and we will be glad to answer them on the show.
Some of them. Don't get stupid.
You know what? I'll answer all of them. I don't care.
Don't ask us who would win in a fight between the Shockmaster and
Chris Benoit.
Doink.
Oh, my
It's just not-
God. Was it a triple threat match?
Okay, guys.
Is there a Bowflex?
And guys, we joke and we make light of things, but there are some genuine tragedies, and we're actually not making fun of anything that happened like that. We do feel for all the parties involved. It was an actual tragedy.
It was very much.
God bless the people who survived it, and the family members who are still mourning.
Yeah. And with that, I want to say, WWE, give David Benoit a chance.
I've heard he's a good wrestler. He's an actual.
I heard he's very good in the ring. It's unfortunate that he looks exactly like his father. Even if his father wore a mask, put a mask on him if you have to. But give the kid a chance.
Speaking of masked wrestlers,
okay,
this is a good place to end this. Luchadors.
Okay.
They were everywhere.
Oh my gosh! I know WCW had
3,000 of them.
Yeah.
As if anyone cares, Impact's about to do a crossover show with Lucha Underground.
Okay, and I like Lucha Underground.
In a couple weeks.
But my question is, where are the Luchadors in the WWE?
Yeah.
205 Live.
Okay, where are the Luchadors in the WWE that anybody actually watches?
NXT.
There you go. 205 Live, I can't think of anyone who's actually ever seen that show. I never have. Ben, have you ever watched 205 Live?
I don't even know what 205 Live is.
It's the Cruiserweight show that comes on
my
Tuesdays.
God, that just sounds horrible.
It comes on Tuesdays after SmackDown.
Oh my God.
It's kind of like Saturday Night Main Event.
Is it like Thursday Night Thunder, kind of?
So, Bean, you've never seen it. So, it's actually a bunch of really talented wrestlers that just given a shit show of a story in like an hour show.
Oh,
yeah, it's an hour show. You can't.
Well, they need to move SmackDown to 3 hours.
I agree. But we're already watching. If you watch 205 Live in NXT, which you should watch NXT. NXT's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
All right, so if you watch Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, you're watching 7 hours of wrestling a week. Plus a pay-per-view is an extra 3 to 4, which is 10 to 11 hours of WWE a week.
The rest of your natural life for WrestleMania next year.
Well, that's like if they expand and do any more shows. Jesus. You're watching wrestling every day of the week?
Oh,
it's no different than people who watch football or basketball or hockey every night of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, well,
or basketball,
I mean, I can't, I was going to say, football's not as predictable, but, with the NFL these days, it kind of is.
When's XFL starting?
Yeah, when is
2 years, 2020.
Oh, I think next year is when they start making
They're going to start making well, here's, all right, so we're going to do an XFL podcast.
Is Heath Slater going to be playing for the XFL?
Possibly. He's got kids. He needs that job.
He has a family.
I don't know. I'd pay to watch Heath Slater catch passes from a washed-up NFL quarterback.
Oh, they should just bring Brock Lesnar back.
I think your bar for entertainment is surprisingly low there, Pipes.
Hey, as long as he's...
I'd pay to watch paint dry.
Yeah. I mean, I would watch it.
I'd pay to see Tony Romo throw to Heath Slater.
No, it wouldn't be Tony Romo. I would pay to watch. I'd pay to watch Johnny Manziel throw to Heath Slater.
Oh yeah.
But with the XFL's apparent rule of no locker room distractions, I guarantee you they won't bring anyone like him in there.
Yeah,
unless he straightens up. Which
I've
seen some stuff.
Yeah.
This is not even wrestling related, kind of,
because it's XFL.
But yeah, we'll get into that because I want to talk about how genius Vince McMahon is about doing the XFL
again.
Is He Hate Me coming back?
I think Rod Smart's a little too old.
All right, what's going on in TNA?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Who watches that anymore?
All I know is that they're hiring.
Guys, we said we were not going to be strictly WWE marks.
We're trying.
How about ROH? Anything happening in ROH this week?
Chuck Taylor tweets.
Chuck Taylor might have been there. I don't know.
He said he might be.
We're pretty sure Cody Rhodes showed up at some point.
I'm sure. Yeah, well, he's the world champion.
Actually, yes. The tweet war between Cody Rhodes and Disco Inferno.
Oh yes, dude. Disco Inferno has an awesome life. He like runs a strip club.
Oh my.
Okay. Well,
he posts pictures of him in like matching suits and shit with like half naked women draping all over him. So I'm like, dude, good for you.
Yeah, but he's still Disco Inferno. And
that's true.
That's a lot of shame, man. But the fact of the matter is, what happened for all you guys who don't know. Cody got kicked in the face during a spot and bled a little bit.
Aww.
Took a picture of it and posted it on Twitter. Disco Inferno went on a rant telling Cody that he didn't know how to work, i.e. wrestle, and that's why he got hurt. Cody then responded with the fact that Disco Inferno had never made any money and was never over with anybody and needed to shut up. And this has been going on and has been supremely entertaining for the last week. Because Cody Rhodes, like him or hate him, and I'm in the minority here because I like him,
I never liked Cody Rhodes.
reminds me a lot of his dad, even more so than Dustin. He's got that Dusty Rhodes attitude that Dusty had when he was young. Not the flamboyant gimmicks, but he has that attitude that I'm not going to take crap off anybody. I know how good I am, and this is how it's going to roll. And he's showing that more and more every day that he's in ROH.
I really like Cody Rhodes when he was part of Legacy, just because it was like three guys when their dads were iconic wrestlers.
See, and I loved Cody as Stardust. Some of the funniest wrestling on TV was the Cody Rhodes spots when he would come out when he was feuding with Neville, and it was supervillain versus superhero. That was hysterically funny. And then when Stephen Amell from Arrow would show up and Cody would get his butt kicked by the actor who plays Green Arrow. That, again, really, really funny stuff. And that's one of the things I think wrestling is kind of lacking right now. There's just not enough humor.
Like
anymore.
they used to have. But also all the humor back then was crude humor.
Yeah.
Like very crude humor.
It's, good for Vince that they're publicly traded, but he also shot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
The
can't have any more Triple H's. And
you can't have humping a mannequin in a casket.
Yes.
No, you also can't do the Triple H and Shawn Michaels with the blast shields over their face and windshield wipers with Sergeant Slaughter's screaming at him because he spit so much.
You can't do
drop poop.
Kane hooking battery charger to Shane McMahon's testicles.
Probably really can't get away with the bloodbath anymore either.
Yeah.
No. Probably can't get away with another crucifixion.
No,
probably not.
As we alluded to earlier.
Or burying someone 6 feet.
Maybe.
Or
cement bath.
So you can't do a cement
bath. What was
it?
The Big Boss Man and Al Snow feud where
where he fed him his dog.
Where he fed him his dog and he ripped the tombstone down in the graveyard of his Al Snow's mom or something.
Yes.
You can't have falls count anywhere. Like or Holly Al Snow.
Racially insensitive, not racially. I guess that's nationally insensitive. When Al Snow was the European champion and he would come out dressed as a different character from a different country every week.
Because it's Al
and
Snow.
when he came out with Grease, he was wearing a T-Birds jacket and had Pink Lady written across head from the movie Grease.
Yeah.
You can't get away with stuff like that anymore.
Yeah. Or when Booker T and Stevie Ray were getting walked out with chains. You can't do that anymore.
Right censor. Right censor. Guys. That especially was really, really bad, folks. But again, we'll talk more about that next week.
Booker T, though.
If I show up.
Hogan, he's coming for you.
He's coming.
Guys, so just as a wrap up this week, thanks again for listening. We all want to tell you to watch the Andre the Giant thing on HBO. Come down to the shop and talk to us, and we'll talk wrestling with you, comics, games, whatever. And continue watching wrestling, man. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Because otherwise, we're going to be doing
whatever we want.
This sort of thing over and over and over again.
Hey, they might like that though.
They might, and I'm sure
they might love to abuse themselves.
The few people that we've got listening probably really enjoy our podcast, but
or not. They're just watching it and they're just shitting on us.
Oh, and special shout out tonight to one of our fans I know who's checking us out. Walter, I hope you're having fun on vacation, man. We'll see you when you get back.
Nice.
So, guys, what else? What do we want to end it up with tonight?
I really can't think of anything. I just can't wait for the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Can it beat my favorite pay-per-view of all time?
Which is that?
Was that Fastlane?
No, it was St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
It wasn't Fastlane?
Nope.
You sure it wasn't Fastlane 2018?
I'm sure. I'm fine. I watched it and I wanted
Was Glacier on the St. Valentine's Day Massacre?
No, it's WCW.
No, that was a blue dust versus gold dust. That was the first match of the
All
night.
right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, let's just shout out right now, just as a little fun and games sort of exercise. And we did not prepare for this, so it's going to be completely off the cuff.
All right.
Oh, great.
Worst wrestling gimmick, other than Shockmaster and Gobbledygooker, last 10 years.
Last 10
Oh,
years.
great, 10 years.
So that'd be from 2018 to 2008?
Yep.
Oh, my.
Ooh, there's a lot of them. Brodus Clay's Planet Funk gimmick.
Ooh, that one's pretty bad.
See, I'm trying to think back.
Because you remember NXT, he was like the big gangsta badass, and he comes out to Funk is on a roll.
Yes, that was
horrible.
Was Spirit Squad 2008?
No, it was
No,
before,
it was
but it was
bad.
bad.
They were
It's going to last 20 years. It would cover to 2000.
Oh, well, we'll do 20 in a minute, but I want to do 10 first.
10.
'cause
Okay,
I've got,
10. All right.
Oh,
So,
great. I can't really think of anything.
all right, well, I'm going to go with, and this is odd for me, but I'm going to go with Sister Abigail.
yeah, I agree with Sister Abigail.
Bray Wyatt and drag trying to be Sister Abigail was awful.
Jillian Hall being a singer.
That was pretty bad. All right, so we'll take it back now. Worst gimmick of all time.
Okay.
Oh.
Worst gimmick of all time.
Other than the Shockmaster or the Gobbledygooker. Those are legendarily bad.
Legendarily bad, yeah. Glacier. I'll say it.
Glacier.
Sorry, Bill and Pee Wee.
Glacier.
Glacier's right up there. It's bringing
let's
Mortal
see.
Kombat characters into wrestling is right
Max
up there.
Moon.
Max Moon was bad.
Spirit Squad.
I'm gonna
Terry Taylor's Rooster gimmick. Red Rooster.
Red Rooster was pretty bad. I'm gonna go Dungeon of Doom.
Dungeon of Doom, yeah.
Kurgan.
Lord
Kurgan in the Yeti suit.
Lord Tensai.
Tensai was bad. Val Venus.
Jimmy Wang Yang.
Jimmy Wang Yang. Alex Wright.
Jesse and Festus.
Don't remember that one.
Luke Gallows as the invalid who was like drooling and shit, and then the bell would ring and he'd snap.
Eugene.
Eugene. Oh my god.
Funny. Jesse from that was Terry Gordy. It was Ray Gordy, Terry Gordy's son.
And some of you guys out there, and you're wrong by the way, are going to say the Conquistadors, but we didn't say best gimmick ever. We said worst.
There's been some bad tag team gimmicks. The Highlanders was pretty bad.
Highlanders wasn't great.
They were fun, but it was a bad gimmick.
Thrash and Mosh weren't great.
Tyler Rex and Kurt Hawkins' stripper gimmick.
Billy Gunn and
Billy and Chuck. That
was-
made it to the Today Show, or the Today Show.
That was, and nothing against
Gays.
what they were trying to do. They did it badly.
Yeah, they did. Because the payoff was just him like, I thought this was just a publicity stunt. I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
That was the payoff.
that was just bad.
Yeah.
Badly planned, badly done. Anything that Russo ever wrote.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like bad gimmicks from like ECW, but none of them were bad.
No, there were some bad.
There
gimmicks.
was, but like
Blue Meanie is right up there.
Zombie from the reboot, and Macho Libre.
because all I'm
From
thinking
the-
about is
from
all
the
like the
reboot.
good like
The dudes who came out, their sole purpose was to get beat up by Sandman.
All right. The other thing I will say, and again, a lot of people are not a fan of this gimmick. I personally liked it. Was Black Machismo.
I did like Black Jay Lethal. I like him a lot better than the current Jay Lethal.
Yes, when he was doing Black Machismo, I mean, just again humor all the way.
I like the FBI.
Right to censor.
Charlie Haas coming out as different people every week.
3 faces of Foley. Foley entering the Royal Rumble 3 times.
I thought that was funny.
What was Public Enemy?
That was a great tag team.
It was a great tag team.
They were
Blue
just-
World Order.
Stevie Richards in a half shirt was pretty bad, man.
Blue Mini in a full-size shirt with his gut still sticking out. And Nova.
Alex Wright, Das
Yeah.
Wunderkind.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I said Alex right.
You said that earlier,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I still remember the other.
Didn't he have a guy that followed him around that was just a fat guy in a half shirt for a while?
Probably.
Rosie, superhero in training.
We missed the obvious one, guys. Naked Midian.
Midian in general.
Midian was not a bad gimmick.
The Boogeyman. Can't forget about.
I like Boogeyman.
I didn't like the Boogeyman.
I met him last year at Tidewater Comic Con.
He's like super eccentric in real life.
And he had worms in his mouth.
Yeah, yeah. Dude is committed to the gimmick. Still.
So's Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Jim Duggan, yeah.
For some reason.
No, because he's a classic. He's just,
The Mountie.
Yeah.
The Goon.
Isaac Yankem.
Kane's first gimmick.
First gimmick.
Yeah,
you know,
Isaac Yankem, DDS.
If you watch a lot of the stuff on the network, too, that's like the Table for Three or the Legends of Wrestling, you hear about some of the gimmicks that almost got pushed.
Did you know that Owen Hart was originally supposed to be the game?
No, I did not.
Owen Hart was originally supposed to be the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know Hogan originally when he came in, it was Austin, I'm sorry. They had some stupid gimmick for him that
The
he
Ringmaster.
told him no, the Ringmaster. He
Yeah.
told him no, I'm not doing that.
Well, he did it. No.
There's
There's another one.
hair,
There was
right?
another one.
And I remember that. I remember reading his book.
Yeah, he said
And
no,
was
I'm not doing it.
Absolutely not.
Jericho was the same way. They wanted to make him a cowboy at one point.
Okay.
That's in his book.
That's a John
Speaking of which, Chris Jericho's book, really
Undisputed?
good. Yeah.
I have it. I bought it, and I still haven't read it yet. Because I haven't had time.
Well, I mean, so a lot of the wrestlers who are writing books now, and there's a couple I need to read too. I still haven't read Flair or Dusty's books yet.
Have you read Batista's?
Can Batista spell?
That's a good question. I haven't read the book. I gotta find out. And Hogan has a couple out.
Yeah,
His wife has one out. I saw it in Dollar Tree and laughed.
I have
And the dollar.
Yeah.
I have no desire to read anything about Hulk Hogan's career. He was gimmicky. Not gimmicky. He was overinflated in the 80s, and now it's just sad. And now that they're talking about bringing him back again...
No, WWE, no. He is old, and he needs...
Well, he's not wrestling. It would be...
like a manager.
Not even that.
A one-off.
A one-off appearance.
Oh. Rip the t-shirt off.
No,
I don't think he can do it anymore.
Oh, my back.
You might have to pre-rip it.
No, he did.
The Macho Man's brother.
Lonnie Poffo?
Yeah. The Genius gimmick
What a nerd.
was terrible.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, there have been some truly, truly bad gimmicks. The whole Mae Young and Moolah thing when they came back.
Which
was
birth to the hand.
Well, it's not just the giving birth to the hand thing. That whole thing. They
Hand
needed to... Moolah and Mae Young were too old to get back in the ring when they did.
They still did it, though.
They did do it.
And won the women's title. From Ivory.
David Arquette won the championship title, too.
That's a dumb gimmick, David Arquette.
WCW, what do you expect?
Aren't you defending WCW
I
next
am,
week, Dean?
but it's like they were good, and then they just got really bad, and then Shane McMahon
Because
died.
Kevin Nash was booking everything.
Yeah, that's why it was good.
Hey.
I'm going to book myself to beat Goldberg's streak.
I'm going to get Goldberg tased.
We're going to put Judy Bagwell on a pole.
Hey, Bill, we're going to tase you this week.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good with that. Unless I get paid.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this. It's been going on a little long tonight.
We've gone longer than last week. Holy crap! We were gonna try to go into that, but
we're gonna be more streamlined next week. But tune in when you will hear Pipe say
something very bad, probably. So,
and where you'll hear Bean try to defend what was possibly one of the worst wrestling promotions of all time.
No.
It's clearly it's like second or third best.
And what does Ricky Bobby say about second or third best? First loser.
First loser, yeah.
But you know what his dad said? It was just a dumb sticker.
It was just I was drunk. I feel like that's how it kind of at the end of WCW ended. I was drunk.
Don't
All
watch.
right, anyway.
Good night, guys. This has been Showboatin' and Hotdoggin. I'm Jobber. We've had Pipes and Bean. We appreciate you listening. Until next time, keep
Signing
watching
off
wrestling.
From the shed at Tortoise and Hair Comics and Games in Kill Double Hills. Have a good night.